Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Online Creators Association's Thursday night live stream, our weekly live stream, our only live stream every week.
Someday that graphic is going to reflect that. It's going to be great when it does.
Maybe by next week.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need to have it done by Monday.
No, you don't. The deadline has changed. It's great.
How's everybody doing? I got a job today.
What?
Yeah, I'm working part-time in a warehouse that packs books for a publisher.
Hell yeah.
You get to check that off of the list of things to do that you sent me.
Yes, now I have to change that item to I have to show up to a job sometimes.
Well,
fortunately, it's
the challenge.
The sometimes is literally whenever I want, because it's the coolest job I've ever had.
But sometimes that's the worst thing, because sometimes whenever you want is not this week.
Yeah, I intend to get it as a gym membership that's paying me to come.
As all gym memberships should be.
They should be paying me for my effort when I show up to my Pilates class.
I mean, like, honestly, I have thought for a very long time that it's, like, annoying that gyms, like, you go and you do a bunch of labor and nothing productive happens, and then you have to pay them for the privilege.
That's what I'm saying.
Always necessarily easy to find a situation where you can get some amount of, like, manual labor that you can do just, like, whenever it fits into your schedule.
So, like, to be honest, the way that I look at it is that a gym is just a physical manifestation of the pills I have to take. Because either way, I have to pay for the good brain chemicals. Yeah. So I'm either doing it with my gym membership or I'm doing it by going to the pharmacy and picking up my script.
These are the only options that I have because I don't have any homegrown.
Right. Like,
right.
I can either labor and toil to make them and pay someone for the privilege of laboring and toiling to make them, or I can just pay to pick them up at the pharmacy.
I'm going to take my meds. All right. So please, everyone, notice my new location. I'm at my dad's house, but I will be living here 3 days a week because I have a class. So did I get off the train at midnight? Yes. Did I then take the time to put these lights up in this configuration so that I would feel more at home? Yes. And also put the smart bulb in the lights.
I don't know whether the rest of y'all who are in this stream can see the thumbnails before I put them on the stream. But Cecilia, I was watching while you were messing with the color palette just to make sure that you had it just right, and that was very funny.
Leave me the fuck alone. These have a whole remote. There are so many settings.
So many colors to choose from.
I settled on this one with I'm using like the back of I have a desk that was my old like dresser, and there's a thing on it's like a pull down desk. So it has this area that's all white, so I'm using it as a bounce. Which is why my lighting's so good for once. Because I didn't take any, like, no effort to set it up. I just have my laptop here. And I settled on this one because I was like, this reminds me of the light in Lothlorien. I will keep it this way.
I do think that when you put the remote down, you shifted it one step toward green.
You did.
Because now it looks like my hair.
Yeah, it's a little more Lady of the Lake than it is what you were going for before.
I can't fix it. It doesn't go from here. I have to get up because the little sensor's over there. I hooked it up that way because I lay on this side and there's an outlet on either side, and I need this side to doom scroll on my phone.
Honestly, it matches your shirt and it contrasts beautifully with your hair and glasses.
Thank you. My hair doesn't actually look this red right now, but I'm using the light to make it look like I fixed it.
It's definitely making your hair look like it did about 2 years ago when you first did the like coppery red.
Like the slow progression back to like eventually I'll land on that hair color again. It'll happen for me.
Just going full circle.
Yep.
This is like just absolutely crowbarring a reference in here that doesn't fit. But
Yeah.
I just remember when your hair was green for a little bit, just because it's one of the jokes that I am most proud of that I have ever told. But when you made a video on my account and somebody said you two look like siblings, and I said, yeah, I see where you're getting that resemblance, but my hair is not naturally this color.
Oh god, that was fun because all I needed to claim to be TX Watson was green hair and a tie.
You also had a whiteboard.
I didn't have a whiteboard. Oh wait, I did! I was standing in front of my wipe-off calendar.
Yeah.
That's not a whiteboard at all, but you can write on it with dry erase markers. So I was like, same. That's how you become TX Watson, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to dye your hair the right color.
That we've tried to normalize this as much as possible. You have your lighting. I'm back to being the one eating on stream. Right?
We need to bring it back to where we were before. We have to reset.
Going back to center.
It's funny because I'm doing so many branding updates right now.
No, you are.
Right before we went live, literally I was recording it while we were sitting in the green room. I posted a video saying that I'm working on my statement of purpose for grad school. And I want to study parasocial relationships, but I'm struggling to figure out what I want to say about like what it is about that I want to study. And so I figured it might help if I told my audience the thing that I know I'm going to have to tell them eventually if I do get into grad school, which is that I intend to do experiments on them. Because like I know that there are lines in like how far you can go as a content creator and still be like within the bounds of ethics. And I am very careful with that. Like I feel like I am way more careful than I need to be. And like I know where some of the extremes are. But I think it's time for me to like venture out and start exploring the space a little bit more. So I made a video asking my audience, like, what do you want from me? What kind of connection do you want that I have not in the past been offering? I would tell them that I would not date followers.
I'm gonna say
you only date mutuals, not just followers.
Only mutuals.
Only mutuals.
Yeah, no, if somebody is like a huge fan of me before we meet and we're going to date, I have to also be a huge fan of them before we meet. Otherwise, it's wildly unfair.
It's true. I am going to sit with this information and think about what relationship you have not given me yet.
Right.
But I'm going to sit with this for a while. Because there's a lot of levels of relationship that we do in fact have. Like, including, like, in cahoots. Like, I can't just say you need to be in cahoots with more of your followers. If anything, you engaging in experiments is you being in cahoots with all of your followers, which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Up to something.
I was just about to say, do you realize that you are in process of manifesting some crazy, elaborate, like, just over the top, like, April Fool's prank for yourself? Like, it's coming. You have just started.
Yes.
Remember, the second you said, do you realize that you're manifesting? Nope. I know they do. We all know they do. Whatever they're manifesting, it's happening. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's there.
My brain,
I mean, one of the big lines
part, but it's the those big elaborate wedding things that they used to do all the time before half of the internet existed.
Yeah.
With that Bruno Mars song.
The proposal flash mobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every single one of them using the exact same Bruno Mars song for the proposal flash mobs. Yeah.
Very original.
Yeah.
But like one of the big lines that I've held for the whole time I've been a TikTok creator is I don't talk about my witchcraft on my platform. That's probably going to change because fuck it.
Why the fuck not? I because you joined TikTok when during the pandemic.
Yeah, April 2020.
Yeah, I love that you are having the opposite experience of me. Just backwards. Just like the concept of like me on TikTok initially being like super open with everything about myself, and slowly but surely cutting off people from further, like, more areas of my life and letting them get less and less of me. And now you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. Go. What do you want from me, guys? Not in like a confrontational way, like in a like, what do you actually want? I want to know.
Yeah, I am open for suggestions. Because the thing is, like, okay, so for the longest time when I was on TikTok, like the thing that motivated me to make TikToks, the thing that made it so that I wanted to make a lot of TikToks was there were these really cool people following me who I wanted to be friends with. And now I can just tell you guys the things that I think of, and then you are entertained, and I don't have to make a TikTok. So it's really hard to motivate myself to make the TikTok.
I made my friends giggle, and now I'm done. The joke has been told.
It's only funny to me because, like, even on a small scale, that is becoming increasingly true for me.
I feel like in order to continue to function as a content creator, I need to care more about what my audience wants from the content.
What a fucking concept. You know, in order to make things for an audience.
I mean, like, I'm going to be real. The overwhelming advice is actually you should care a lot less about what your audience wants because you're paralyzing yourself.
But yeah, we have this. This is my testimonial of you on your fucking website. Oh, yeah, is that you are an opposite person? Yeah, Watson has testimonials on their website now.
Let me stop screen sharing the article we were going to talk about.
We don't talk about those here.
News.
All right, so this is my website. As you can see, we have my basic bio information: age 33 plus or minus 1, blood type wet, sign Aquarius, citation needed, gender NA, pronouns most are fine, education unspecified BA, location outside time without extension, profession heterodoxical busker, politics non-denominational anti-capitalist, faith void worship, and favorite word disintegrate. And then we have our testimonials. We've got from Alana Degan, I never know what kind of cursed shit is going to happen when you're around. From Astrid Lundberg, quote, I was right is an especially alarming message coming from you. He told me that in response to what I said to you, Cecilia. Micah said, it feels like you've dropped this tiny little bomb every time you open your mouth and we're all just waiting for it to explode. That one's in my pinned video.
It is.
Cecilia said, you're an upside down person and the crazy thing to do for everyone else is the right decision for you 90% of the time, which is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Morgan Ray of Creators with Confidence said, I literally just came here for dick. The fuck is happening? And Blythe, am I a fairy princess yet, who has been on this stream before, said, you know Miku Binder Jefferson? You're that for John Green. Literally a full minute of me just like respond, not even doing a bit, just actually not able to find words.
I had not heard or seen that one yet, and I'm so mad at Blythe for being so correct.
All right, so somebody in chat doesn't know about Miku Binder Jefferson.
No. We don't know. Too late. Edition of Please Do Not Explain.
We're doing it live. You asked, you get it answered.
We just came on TikTok news. We can't bring up Miku Binder Jefferson.
The funny part is that I did not recognize that was Miku on the binder. So, like, okay, thank you. Like, I'm full circle.
Miku Binder Jefferson was made by a fan artist on Tumblr in an unspecified year, but the year was probably around 2014 because that's when Hamilton was just going. Maybe it was 2015, somewhere in there. This was not made in jest. This is serious fan art, and this is part of why the Hamilton fandom is so cursed. Because this is slave owner and founding father Thomas Jefferson in a Miku Binder So anyway, that's Miku Binder Jefferson. I recommend everyone get more context on it because sometimes people make other memes in the form of Miku Binder Jefferson, and it just adds to the experience of being on the internet. You know?
Look, someone made a Minecraft skin.
No.
This is really the timeline we're living in, isn't it?
It's the production of Hamilton's fault for casting Daveed Diggs as Thomas Jefferson. It starts there. That is their fault. That is the original sin here. Okay, they shouldn't have done that because he's very hot.
Would you like to tell your
this is
Daveed
not
Diggs
solved.
story?
What?
Would you like to tell your Daveed Diggs story?
Is this a story I've heard before or no?
Is it? It's less the Daveed Diggs story and more the story of the fact that like a good chunk of the original cast of Hamilton saw a production of Hair that I was in. And if you know Hair and you say I was in the tribe of Hair, there is the implication that you got nude on stage. And that is how most of the original cast of Hamilton saw me naked. And don't worry about it. And then Hamilton. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing yet. It was just our castmate being like, so my boyfriend's in this new thing at the public. We don't know how it's gonna do. And then it was Hamilton. But it was still in that like we're not sure how it's gonna do and how it's gonna be received phase. And they all came to see our show. And that's it. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Before we move on to actual content, would you guys like to also see? I'm offering consultations on my website now.
Good.
I recommend you see the fee for the consultations before you compliment Watson on this.
To book a consultation, acquire 1 silver coin, 1 troy ounce of at least 0.999 pure silver per hour you'd like to book. If you'd like to book more than 1 hour, each coin must come from a different mint. Use the contact form below to request a meeting. Describe using a 200 or fewer word English sentence the matter or matters on which you would like my consultation. Confirm that you have the coins and are prepared to send them. Give me whatever identifying information you have about the coins, especially the mint and year. I will review your request and will either decline or will offer potential times. You may select a time or propose alternatives or request options further out. Once an appointment is established, I will give you instructions for having the coins sent to me. Once the coins are sent, there will be no refunds under any circumstances. If the coins arrive on time, we will meet at the established time and using the established platform. If they arrive late, I will not attend the meeting, but will attempt to reschedule. We will meet for at least the length of time for which you have paid. If the consultation lasts longer, it is at my leisure and you are not obliged to make further payment.
See, my smart ass has exactly 1 silver coin, and I just want to hand it over for you just for the lulz. That's it.
Just to do it. The thing, as the live stream for a labor organization for content creators, I cannot endorse using this as an appropriate pay scale. And do want to remind Watson that they could at any time provide actual consultations for US American dollars that are not giant silver coins. But I know that is the kind of work that you don't want to do. Put the coin away, Jareth. So I know that this is like the only way that anyone's ever going to get a consultation with you. It's just infuriating.
I mean, listen, if I get really, really successful and I start getting overbooked, I'll switch to gold coins.
I'm mostly upset about this because this is following like the general format that I had when I was 7, and my like told my mother the circumstances under which I would accept a marriage proposal from someone. Where like in my 7-year-old brain, it was so outlandish it would never happen, and like
they must bring that dowry.
Oh no, my 7-year-old brain was really interested in Lady and the Tramp. So unless I get the whole meatball scene, including the single strand of spaghetti, it ain't happening, bud. And yes, you do have to push the meatball with your nose.
That's very fair. It's extremely fair.
And it has to be in public because, like, if you're not making an ass of yourself, I don't want it.
This is all extremely fair.
Ginger asks, but are you also offering Prosultations. No, all of my consultations will be presented in verse.
I hate that you just took one terrible pun and just morphed it into something even more terrible. And this is that whole opening your mouth with a little bomb and just waiting for it to explode in my brain.
Every time. It's every time.
I am having a good time.
I know you are. You always are.
TX Watson, agent of chaos.
I mean, for anybody who wants to know, this past weekend I did a consultation with a business coach, Morgan Ray, Creators with Confidence, and they did an excellent job, and my business plan is changing. Maybe not in the way that a business coach might expect, but...
Morgan Ray, who has appeared on this stream, by the way, and we do highly, highly recommend their services. They are wonderful, and genuinely approach things in a way that's not just here's the way to maximize everything. It's here's what you actually want to be doing, and we can figure that out. Just putting that out, just plugging Morgan in a real way, not in a I'm charging you silver fucking coins way.
Also to give me regular money.
I know. Just pull up the news, Watson. Right. Pull up the article we were going to look at before Miku Binder Jefferson made it on the fucking stream.
Former security chief claims Twitter buried, quote, egregious deficiencies. And an explosive whistleblower complaint obtained by the Washington Post, former Twitter security chief Peter Mudge Zatko alleges the company misled regulators about lax security and spam.
This is a long article. I do recommend everyone go read it. I don't know that we need to read the entire article. The main thing is that paragraph there that starts with among the most serious accusations.
Among the most serious accusations in the complaint, a copy of which was obtained by the Washington Post, is that Twitter violated the terms of an 11-year-old settlement with the Federal Trade Commission by falsely claiming that it had a solid security plan. Zatko's complaint alleges that he warned colleagues that half the company's servers were running out of date and vulnerable software, and that executives withheld dire facts about the number of breaches and lack of protection for user data, instead presenting directors with rosy charts measuring unimportant changes.
So I have been seeing this thing on TikTok lately, right? Where I think every time I see users suddenly start realizing that the algorithm is gamified, that it's intermittent reinforcement. Whenever I see that pop up, I say, oh, this round is becoming self-aware. And I know that's only a matter of time before we start losing people again. I think today I saw someone that I've been mutuals with and that I am friends with now outside of TikTok is yep, leaving the platform, gotta go. It happens, I feel once a year, every year. But there's always this allegation in there that TikTok is unlike any other app. The users on here are scared of the app and they're scared of the moderation, and it's not like that on any other app, and that is fundamentally untrue. And it is like this fucking everywhere. It's been going on for 20 plus years. I don't want us to get so bogged down in how terrible TikTok is. And lose sight of the fact that just because these other companies are more established, just because we see them as more legitimate, it does not mean that they are doing anything they should be. It means they've gotten good at hiding it. Yeah. So the Twitter running on extremely outdated software and half of their servers being old, that shit doesn't surprise me one bit. Of course they are, because no social media app that's ever gotten popular has set out to be the social media app, It's always been oh, too many people are joining, we have to scale up, and then they don't. And it's that the lag starts from the beginning and the gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger as they go.
I think realistically, the only scenario where we have a social media platform that is even remotely safe is if the government builds it.
Truly. And then does anyone want to use it?
I mean,
No.
like, honestly, I would rather the service that functions like Facebook be run by the post office than by Facebook.
If anyone's going to have my information, I'm actually okay with it being the postal workers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
The
Imagine
only
if
community institution that I would trust with that kind of information is actually local libraries.
That's true.
That's where my trust and faith is.
I would trust the libraries.
I would love to see, ideally, a set of government social media systems that are designed to interlink but are all functionally independent. Like, you can use each of them separately, that manage things related to a particular field of function corresponding to the institution running them. Like, it would be great if you could have your government Facebook set up so that you can check a box that says someone with my username can send a package to my username and it will reach my house without giving them my address.
This terrifies me. The concept of this terrifies me. I simply wish we could get in a time machine and go back to the part of the internet where I could be anonymous everywhere and it didn't matter.
Well, whose fault is that?
Really like about this is I would really like the part of the internet where you are just you, as the government understands you, to be fully firewalled from the rest of the internet.
That's true. I would very much like it if my government information.
One of the things that I want about this is the fact that the government will not try to be the whole internet the way that Facebook is.
God. And it's so stupid, and they're doing it in the worst way.
Mm-hmm. It can't be the whole internet because the government, not even gonna try to be porn.
Sorry, I love a smart house
quickly.
I love a smart house reference, and
yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a whole thing of the internet being controlled by private companies instead of just being a public resource,
yeah. Also,
like water. It pisses me off.
Clearly a utility. Clearly,
the internet's a utility.
A public resource.
It's a utility. It should be managed like a fucking utility. Yeah. But that is something that my father has had strong feelings about since he worked for Northern Telecom in the 90s. This has been. I'm very pro internet as a utility, and I do think that would change how shit works. But I just anyway. I'm not going to get on my goddamn high horse about that today. The whole point of this was to say, yes, TikTok is awful, and it has unique ways in which it is awful.
Yes.
Yeah. What?
Have the local library be a place where you can get just public server space.
Yeah. Genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, this was just to say, each platform has ways in which it is uniquely awful, and we cannot lose sight of that just because TikTok is so terrible at so many things. There is still a lot of censorship on YouTube. There is the constant sense that your video is going to get demonetized on YouTube. People are terrified of the ways in which Instagram will just shut your account down if you show just a little too much ass. It's very puritanical.
Oh, that's another thing, is if the main utility websites were actually run by the government, then we wouldn't be having this stupid, it's not censorship because it's a corporation doing it conversation.
I'm so tired of that fucking conversation. I feel like I've been having that conversation for half of my adult life. It's still censorship if the company is doing it. It still counts. It can do I want to know what it says about me that I picked the platform that in terms of where I am actually myself on Tumblr, where I can make the death threats but the boobs are banned? No, I don't want to know what that says about me. And I think we should bring the boobs back. But
They're
Uh,
slowly coming back because I definitely got followed by some bot accounts.
Just
One of the most wild things about being back on Tumblr, and like this is maybe just the Tumblr users that I follow, but like so many people get so pissed at TikTok users for
yeah.
the brain rot of having the most Tumblr takes I have ever heard in my life. And like the sentence works that like you can explain what TikTok is like by saying they have really Tumblr takes makes it fucking wild that Tumblr's complaining about it.
It's incredible. It's incredible. My personal favorite, listen, the only things they are allowed to actually complain about are TikTok users going to other platforms and being like, how does the algorithm work here? You don't have to be worried about that on AO3. There's no algorithm. Fucking algorithm, you monsters. You're meant to scroll through all of the tags and feel horror and shame, and then you find a great fan fiction. Okay, that's how AO3 works. But just like on Tumblr, they're like, how do I get Tumblr famous? You don't want to be Tumblr famous. Only bad things come from being Tumblr famous. Okay, that has only been a sentence uttered in regret.
The way to get Tumblr famous, the only way to get Tumblr famous is to write a post about how much it sucks to get Tumblr famous.
No, you've also forgot being human pet guy. You can just be human pet guy and get Tumblr famous forever.
Okay. I'm talking about like going forward here on like human pet guy. I don't think it would happen right now.
Don't you tempt the gods in this way. Don't you fucking tempt them.
But I also feel like the nice thing about Tumblr in a lot of ways is that your post can get famous without you getting famous.
That's true, because I did have a post go super fucking viral, and I still have like 800 whole followers on Tumblr.
Yeah, like you can absolutely like have your moment in the sun and not have the sun actually reflect on you, and I think that's beautiful.
I do think that's beautiful. I think that's great.
I would like my brain rot to speak for itself.
Conversely, you can be a hugely influential voice in the beginning of an emerging art movement that is now like widely a publicly recognized name and not be recognized for it at all because it was on a Tumblr blog. I was very important in the early solar punk scene. Fun fact.
Listen, we've all lived.
A lot of like the most popular points about like what solar punk is supposed to be, I wrote those.
I love hearing about your former lives.
The blog is watsons-solarpunk.tumblr.com. It's all still there.
I'm going to go follow it. Just in case it updates.
It won't.
But just in case.
Which Patreon tier is this?
What Patreon tier is this?
I mean, honestly, $30 for the ebook, $60 for print.
There you go. But this is like, it's worthy of making fun of. Like that, well, happily make fun of that shit. But like,
I had a friend in college who was Hamilton Tumblr famous and was so scarred by it that their Div 3 was about how fucked up internet fame is.
Yeah.
They deleted everything they ever created about Hamilton.
As they should.
I have not been able to find a shred of it. Like, it's not out there.
Good job. To that I say good job.
I'm very proud of them.
Anyway, so that's but like this is the thing. It's like we can give them shame. That can be shame. I also saw a post that referred to it as being brain scorched instead of brain rot, which I have been like latching onto.
And Axolotl Pain _ says, "Can we be in a solar punk dystopia already?" We are.
Yeah.
Solar punk is cyberpunk, but paying attention to the people who care.
Yeah.
I also still think it's interesting the ebb and flow of switching over from one platform to another. And it's always been there in some form or another, which is still kind of honestly like carryover from both the before times of internet. because like I still also have so many friends that are not chronically online as I am, who are like sometimes I just go back and I look through my middle school like yearbook and like, you know, I'd so cringe and stuff like that too. It's the same thing, but a different part of the conversation with that too. And it's just kind of like the different websites and whatnot. Like again, IRC has been on my mind a lot lately too. So many people were like, "Oh my God, you're still on IRC? That's like so 1990s." Like,
Listen, everyone's gonna find a thing to cringe at. I don't give a fuck anymore. I am simply glad to have that power over you. I'm glad my existence is causing you a visceral, upsetting feeling. That's great for me. I'm having fun. But like, this is the coming back around. All of this shit. They're all bad in their own unique ways. We can't keep treating, and this is a thing, we can't keep treating TikTok like it's all knowing and all seeing and all powerful when all of these other places also have similar problems. And like, if we want to talk about all knowing and all seeing and all powerful, Facebook is right fucking there.
I don't even think that you can just say Facebook anymore. Like the entire metaverse at this point.
The entire metaverse.
I am
because
not.
they just keep
Fuck Zuckerberg who can't have the word meta. I don't care how hard he tries.
Take it from me. I need that. I need that to talk about things in media analysis. I need to be able to say the word meta.
It's Facebook and then Facebook Rift.
It's Mark Zuckerberg and the little raccoon hands of the internet is what it is.
Michael, exactly. Metaverse, more like meta-worse. That's correct.
I actually used the original Facebook terms of service to prove to somebody that like the whole we can remove anything at any time.
Oh yeah, that's always been around. Always.
And I was just like, how did you not know that?
Congratulations, Ginger. You came up with a pun that pissed me off.
What?
Congratulations, Ginger. You came up with a pun that pissed me off.
I hate it. I do hate it.
Never met. Shut the.
It's solid. It's a good pun. I'm proud of you.
A good one. It's a good one.
It's solid. I hate it. Never do it again. Somebody made a horse pun at work today, and I almost fucking died.
I do love that we basically like created an environment where everyone's like, "Nope, time to be terrible with puns. Let's go." Every opportunity.
Oh my fucking god. All right.
So anyway, how about that other article?
Anyway, yeah, but I do recommend everyone read that. I will post the gift version in the TOCA Discord if anyone wants to. I just abuse my WAPO subscription by like letting as many people read on my subscription as I want because that's TOCA's subscription now. If you're seeing this, Taylor Lorenz and or Dave, not sorry about it. The settlement's been approved.
Oh, nice.
So everyone's going to get their shiny nickel.
I completely forgot that I will be getting my shiny nickel. I forgot all about that.
I actually forgot what the amount was supposed to be, but it was in an amount that I could get paid in a coin. So I really do hope that I can get my little TikTok coin and put it in a little shadow box.
That's not necessarily a tiny number.
What? How much is no? Your fucking silver coin. Why are we back on the silver coins?
Because it's still in my hand. I've been doing this whole time.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
A federal judge in Illinois has granted final approval for a $92 million class action lawsuit settlement between social media network TikTok and users of the platform, with Illinois residents set to receive the largest share of the payout. According to a press release, the lawsuit was filed over claims that the video sharing app violated both federal law and Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act, with the site allegedly collecting biometric data from users and then disclosing it to third-party companies without the consent of those affected. In the class action suit, we allege that TikTok's technological sophistication enabled them to collect billions of user attributes, ranging from eye colors to people's facial expressions and physical gestures that use data without disclosure to the consumers, Elizabeth Fegan, co-lead counsel representing the plaintiffs, said in a statement. The settlement would create a $92 million fund to be distributed among class members. Here's what we know about the settlement payments. Who is eligible for payments? According to lawyers, TikTok users who created videos prior to September 30th, 2021 were eligible to be part of the class action suit. Two separate classes of plaintiffs were created, with one comprised of nationwide users and a second class comprised solely of Illinois-based users. Can I still join the class action suit? Deadlines for the lawsuit have already passed, according to lawyers. Individuals who wanted to file a claim form to be part of the class action suit were required to do so by March 1st, 2022. Individuals who sought to exclude themselves from the suit were required to make that known by January 31st. How will payments be distributed? According to the law firm that filed the suit, those individuals who filed to be part of the class action suit will receive payments electronically unless they opted for an alternate form of payment. No official date for payments has yet been announced. Why are Illinois residents in a separate class? The reason Illinois residents are part of a separate class in the suit is because of the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act, which imposes strict limits on the way companies can use and share biometric information. As a result of that law, Illinois residents who are part of the class action suit will receive the same share as other United States residents, but will also receive 5 additional shares apiece, effectively increasing their payout. The official number of participants in the class action suit has not yet been announced, and therefore it is not known how big a settlement payout Illinois residents can expect.
They're going to get a whole $1.
They're going to get like a whole $1. It might be whole dollars. I desperately want to remember if I opted for an electronic payment so that I can screenshot the 5-cent deposit.
I know that I did because PayPal was one of the options.
Okay. Yeah, I probably did that then. Knowing me, I was like, yeah, just PayPal it.
Yeah.
Just Venmo me TikTok, it'll be fine.
Although, I would love to get that 5 cents in a check.
I would love to get a 5-cent check, go to the bank and be like, I'd like that in cash, please.
Right.
I
over 5 years.
I have an idea that I have to hold for off the stream, but I'm saying it because I need to remind myself.
Cecilia, remind me of this later. I got an email today letting me know that there is a settlement I need to file a claim in with my bank for charging overdraft fees for repeat attempts at charging the same transaction, which is apparently illegal, at least in New Hampshire.
Sure is.
All right. Sending you a message about it right now.
Thank you.
Anyway, move on to the next article so we're not just sitting here watching me type on my phone.
Working on.
We're watching the coin.
But it's just so interesting. Put the coin away. Just because she's not looking at the camera doesn't mean that you can put the coin in my face.
Yes. Okay. So this man was a researcher. He went through and just figured out how much what is being tracked in all of the different in-app browsers. And if you will scroll down to the TikTok section, the answer is all of it. Literally all of it. He explains all of his methodology. This is maybe I will also put this in the actual Discord chat because this is important and could be parsed better by someone who knows more.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, keep scrolling.
TikTok monitoring all keyboard inputs and taps.
All of them.
When you open any link from the TikTok iOS app, it's opened inside their in-app browser. While you are interacting with the website, TikTok subscribes to all keyboard inputs, including passwords, credit card information, etc. Every tap on the screen, like which buttons and links you click. TikTok iOS subscribes to every keystroke, text inputs happening on third-party websites rendered inside the TikTok app. This can include passwords, credit card information, and other sensitive user data. Key press and key down. We can't know what TikTok uses the subscription for, but from a technical perspective, this is the equivalent of installing a keylogger on third-party websites. TikTok iOS subscribes to every tap on any button, link, image, or other component on websites rendered inside the TikTok app. TikTok iOS uses a JavaScript function to get details about the element the user clicked on, like an image. TikTok's statement, reported from by Forbes.com, the company confirmed that those features exist in the code, but said TikTok is not using them. Like other platforms, we use an in-app browser to provide an optimal user experience. Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic user experience. Definitely better than Chrome. But the JavaScript code in question is used only for debugging, troubleshooting, and performance monitoring of that experience, like checking how quickly a page loads or whether it crashes, spokesperson Maureen Shanahan said in a statement. The above statement confirms my findings. TikTok injects code into third-party web pages through their in-app browsers that behaves like a keylogger, however, claims it's not being used.
Lying.
Hate it. This shit has been going on for so long. This is another one of those times where I'm just going to be like, again, why do they keep reinventing the wheel on everything? Like, why have they done this by not learning from other people's mistakes in the past? Because this is like stuff that everybody knows. Like, you got to be cautious with this stuff. You got to be able to give a person the option to exit out of the in-app.
Correct.
Whatever, and they just keep not doing it.
Yes. And this is the question, is it just for iOS? And I do not know the answer.
Literally the only time that the word Android occurs in the article is in a quote from another article saying that iOS and Android developers could be making this not happen.
Yeah. They could be, but they are not. So the answer is this was specifically research done on iOS, and the implication is it's probably also happening on Android, but they need to do further research there. There is a great FAQ at the bottom of like, what does this mean for non-tech people? And it's like, so the app can see everything I'm doing? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much all of them. And this is, TikTok said it themselves. Yeah, we see everything you're doing. We're just looking at it.
I just really like this in light of the conversation we had last week where I was like, it's interesting they're saying all of these things considering we know for a fact that you cannot access any of those links outside of the TikTok web browser. So, Cool. Love it. Not mad about the data that they're collecting at all.
And the other thing is like, I understand this concept of like, well, we're collecting it, but we're not using it. Well, how is it being stored? Like, you're collecting it. Where is it going? What are you doing with it? Who can see it? What's going on?
And that's also
everything that Indiana Jones is just being.
Is there a button to open the shopping link in your browser in TikTok? Because every other function does not give you an option to like leave the TikTok app.
No.
No, if you make a purchase through the app, that purchase will haunt you until the day you die. Because you will not get nonstop ads about it.
The only way to get out of TikTok from TikTok is the Instagram link.
Instagram and I believe Spotify.
Oh.
YouTube, both the Instagram and the YouTube ones pull
the thing
you
with
out.
The Spotify one is, can you put a bio link in your Spotify bio?
No.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know about the Spotify link.
So it's not you have to be a musician. You have to have the special account that allows you, but it is a whole different distinction and it is completely separate. And I've like had enough conversations with people now that it's like, that's leading people off the app in an approved way that is still a completely separate browser.
Yeah. I also know that there is some of the in-app shopping that does do that also, but I can't figure out what the criteria for that is because, and I hate to say I'm always half asleep. It's those silly, I say silly just to be as respectful as possible, but they're doing the scoops of gems, and when you actually click into it, they're part of a TikTok store, and then you can open it up and you have options, and then when you finally click on which option you're interested in buying it does actually kick you out of the app onto their website.
Yeah.
What device are you doing that on? Because it does not give you that option for.
But again, it's not everything. It's only the ones that like. There's a completely. It's the more Dojin style shopping. If you saw that, remember that article where they talk about it. So it's like it's what they programmed for the Dojin version
Joanne.
of the app, where it is meant to be a bit more like eBay or Amazon or something like that too, where you can like click my affiliate link and get pulled off to that other site
Yeah.
to do the thing, versus like, again, because again, they have 7 flavors of the same thing always. So it's only those few approved people. And I've only ever seen that happen with those.
I'm getting the sense that this is a program that others are just not a part of yet, and they are slowly rolling it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole subscription thing.
The question is, does Linktree lead out to a separate browser? I am under the impression that it does not.
No,
I
it
always get
doesn't.
it
It doesn't.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
Because
this is why I'm saying Instagram, because Instagram, you can put a Linktree link in your bio there, and the Instagram in-app browser will let you open in browser from there.
Yeah.
What
You
I
have
think
to
is
meet people
interesting.
too. Right?
What I think is interesting is that if I open, if I go to buy something and I'm in the TikTok browser and I choose to pay for it using my PayPal, it opens my PayPal login in a separate browser, in a non-TikTok browser. That's the one thing I will notice, but I think that's because of the way that I have to like verify my PIN numbers and shit.
I feel like it's probably that PayPal fucking won't let you open it.
I was going to say it's because PayPal explicitly will not let that happen.
Which is like, I'm very happy about that. Because, like, no offense, but, like, I don't necessarily want to hand my credit card information just because I'm buying a silicone blobfish as a gag gift for someone.
It's so specific.
That's so important.
Listen, she's getting married, and it's very important.
I know this. Yeah, but no, this is PayPal will not actually allow, does not allow for code injection. It does not. Whenever you're paying through PayPal, it's always taking you out and then returning you. And that's a security measure that most banking platforms do have. It doesn't really matter. Like if you do Zelle, it will do the same thing. I believe Venmo will do the same thing. That's just a basic safety thing with banking platforms. And by the way, if you ever go to pay for something and it doesn't do that, it doesn't pull you out for that verification, you might be handing your card over to a fraud. So just be wary.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That should be in your vibe check.
What?
That should be in your vibe check kit for websites.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
All right, do we want to spend the last 10 minutes of this stream making fun of Andrew Tate?
I really do.
I've been waiting for this.
TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook have all taken down accounts belonging to Mr. Tate, a 35-year-old British American. Andrew Tate, former professional kickboxer who frequently made misogynistic comments about women online, has been barred in the last week from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok after concerns about his influence on his millions of followers escalated. Mr. Tate, 35, first gained mainstream media attention after appearing on the reality television show Big Brother in 2016. He has since carved out a space online where he claims to know the secrets to wealth and makes hateful comments. Among Mr. Tate's comments, he has said women who are raped are partially responsible for the attacks, described in detail how he might attack women, and criticized people who seek mental health treatment. In a YouTube video posted on Tuesday, Mr. Tate addressed the social media bans and said clips of his comments had been taken out of context.
Okay.
I would love to hear him try to explain the context of that, if only to be like, how deep can you dig that hole?
Right? Like, please go on.
The context is I'm special, and you're treating me like I'm a person who should experience consequences.
It's true. That's the context.
Yes.
How did he become popular? The article asked incredulously. The British American has competed internationally as a professional kickboxer, but it was his appearance on the British version of Big Brother 6 years ago that gave him a platform and provided fodder for the British media. He was removed from Big Brother after The Sun, a British tabloid, showed producers a video of him hitting a woman with a belt. Mr. Tate said at the time, and in the video on Tuesday, that it had been a consensual act. He has since built a following online, posting YouTube videos and appearing on podcasts, including The Alex Jones Show. The far-right figure Mike Cernovich, known for, among other things, promoting the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, appeared on Mr. Tate's podcast this year. In one video Mr. Tate recorded while sitting in bed, he described keeping a machete by his bed and what he would do if a woman accused him of cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom her in the face, and grip her up by the neck. During a July interview with the Barstool Sports podcast BFFs, Mr. Tate smoked a cigar and was asked about his previous statement suggesting women are men's property. I'm not saying they're property, he said. I'm saying they're given to the man and belong to the man. In 2016, he said depression, quote, isn't real. In his video on Tuesday, he credited himself with curing people's depression using mind hacks.
Does
Mind
the
hacks.
word property mean?
No, he doesn't. He has made that readily apparent.
Because, no, Cecilia, they're not property, they're a gift. It's two different things. You give them to someone, so they're a gift, they're not property.
Oh my God.
What is his online reach? Before Mr. Tate's accounts were deleted, he had about 4.6 million followers on Instagram and more than 740,000 followers on YouTube, and his videos on TikTok had millions of views, Rolling Stone reported. Mr. Tate offered a subscription of $49.99 per month to a program called Hustlers University, where he said which he said would provide high-income skill development. The program had 127,000 subscribers earlier this month, but has since shut down, the Observer reported. Interest in Mr. Tate has soared over the summer, according to Google Trends, which tracks inquiries on the search engine. And with that new attention, Mr. Tate has found new critics. In recent weeks, teachers have raised concerns about his influence on students, and one group of educators on Instagram even put together a guide for what it described as Mr. Tate's, quote, incredibly problematic and violent views. Last week, Hope Not Hate, an anti-racism advocacy group in Britain, called on social media companies to bar Mr. Tate. It is not an exaggeration to say that many young students are returning to school at the end of the summer holidays will have seen something produced by Andrew Tate, the group said. Mr. Tate did not directly address these allegations in Tuesday's video, which is just over an hour long. In it, he complained that people were posting clips of his lengthy videos for their benefit, not his own. I was massively a victim of my own success, he said.
I want to steal that. I think that's funny. I think calling yourself a victim of your own success is absolutely fucking hysterical. That's insane.
It's just giving me Tommy Wiseau vibes.
Yeah.
There's an absolutely delightful quality of this sentence that I've highlighted, which is that the organization was able to condemn him by saying, it's possible children will have come back from summer holidays having seen his videos. And that's the end of the accusation.
That's the end of the warning. I also want to address Michael the Bi Guy saying he might think women are a tax write-off. Like, women are a depreciable asset, and over a series of years, you do get to write off. That's actually how I file my taxes. I just file them as a depreciable asset on my partner's taxes, much like buying a building. I'm just so fucking tired. Anyway, continue.
I just remembered that Tumblr post that's just like, are you in construction because you are building? What?
He hasn't even found the cup or the scepter. I think about that post. Hasn't even found the cup or scepter.
I was reading just posts that I'd reblogged on Tumblr to Morgan earlier, and they didn't get that one.
No, you know what? Because it's important to me, and it doesn't have to be important to anybody else.
No, it's true. It's just like, truly you have to be on the level of, oh yeah, this is funny because it's unhinged nonsense, and that's it.
We'll pull it up. We'll pull it. It's fine. Keep going.
We got 2 minutes.
It's fine.
Let's let Tate get in his word. What does he say? On Tuesday night, the porousness of these bans was evident when Mr. Tate posted a video on YouTube called The Final Message on a non-official account called The Tate Bible. It was promoted by popular accounts on Twitter, and he had more than 700,000 views by Wednesday afternoon. In the video, Mr. Tate repeatedly described himself as the most famous person in the world and claimed that shortened clips of his videos had circulated recently lacked context. He said that the videos were made 5 or 6 years ago when he was less popular, but that he was still responsible for how his messages were received.
No.
To address this, he said he would stop doing podcast interviews for an indefinite amount of time.
What?
Here's what's
Why
going
are they
on
all
right
the same? Why are they all the same?
Because there's
How do
one
they all
playbook.
come from the same manual? I don't.
It's one playbook. Continue.
In recent weeks, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok have taken down his official accounts, all citing violations of their policies. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, removed his official accounts on Friday and said they were in violation of its policies. YouTube took down several channels affiliated with Mr. Tate for, quote, multiple violations of our community guidelines and terms of service, including our hate speech policy, said Ivy Choi, a spokeswoman for the company. A Twitter spokesperson said that the official Andrew Tate account was permanently banned from the website for violating its rules, but did not specify when. TikTok has also banned Mr. Tate. Misogyny is a hateful ideology that is not tolerated on TikTok, a spokesperson said in the statement. Our investigation into this content is ongoing, and as we continue to remove violative accounts and videos and pursue measures to strengthen our enforcement, including our detection models against this type of content. On Twitch, the popular live streaming service, Mr. Tate's channel is listed as, quote, closed by the user. The company did not respond to a request for comment.
I have concerns about the fact that TikTok did not just say he's been permanently banned. That gives me concerns because we know TikTok is pretty good about just sort of like letting people come back whenever because they don't really care all that much. Yeah, and this whole thing like TikTok is against misogyny.
I was curious by that word choice, but it wasn't like a direct quote either. So I'm wondering if the person writing just put that in there.
No, that was a quote.
Oh,
the being against misogyny.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. The previous part because I thought the part that they were removed from TikTok or whatever.
Because they noted that he'd been permanently banned from Twitter. I assume if TikTok had let them know that he were permanently banned off of TikTok, that also would have been. It's pertinent. It's a pertinent detail that they would have been excluding.
I just find the whole like the rhetoric of we care about misogyny and we are actively looking for it makes me laugh. Given that what was it? I think it was last summer. There was a popular super misogynistic podcast that has an account on TikTok that made several clips that went viral that were like violently misogynistic, like graphically talking about murdering fat women.
I think
they've learned from their mistakes. A little bit of
credit. They are very good at removing videos that have the word misogyny spoken in them.
Yes.
So good about it. So good about it.
There's just I don't know.
Anyway, but that is
2 minutes over. There's so many thoughts, but
I did just want to close out on a little victory and a little bit of Schadenfreude because fuck that guy. I'm so glad that he has gotten pushed off the internet. My fear is that like in the not so distant future when I'm teaching teenagers, I'm gonna hear some shit come out of like a teenage boy's mouth that I'm gonna point at them and be like, Andrew Tate said that.
Yeah. Hey, you opened your mouth and Andrew Tate fell off. Are you gonna be okay?
He's been banned off the internet for being annoying. Have you considered you don't want to be that annoying teenage boy in my classroom?
He's been socially ostracized. Have you considered that you do not want to befall that same fate?
You considered you don't want to be pushed away from every platform you've ever like utilized?
Right.
Yeah, there it is.
You should be your own person. You are so young and insecure. At this rate, you will never be able to find the cup or the scepter. What? He doesn't even have the cup or the scepter.
He doesn't even have a cup or the scepter. I have been thinking he doesn't even have the cup or the scepter. Every time something goes wrong for the past like 2 weeks, I have that combined with it has the juice just in my head. There's only 2 thoughts, and it's the cup and the scepter, and it's corn. That's it.
Somebody brought up it's corn at work today too, and I was just like, yeah, I'm still haunted by berries and cream too. What's this?
I'm
Same.
you brought up something I have no ability to be normal about.
I'm so here for the way that corn has just infiltrated everything. I love it. It makes my heart happy. I don't care.
Did you
I
guys
feel-
hear about L. Ron Hubbard's Rhodesian Constitution?
Are you telling me a lie?
That's the
From
note we
when
close
life
out on tonight. Thanks, everybody. Bye.